Police said a 30-year-old man from Second Caledonia, Morvant, is currently being interrogated by detectives after being held following a social media deal gone wrong in Morvant on Wednesday afternoon. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service (TTPS) said the suspect, who was the driver of the vehicle used during the incident, was nabbed on Wednesday by police officers on patrol who were alerted by two men who were allegedly robbed during a social media deal that went wrong mere moments before in the area. Police also recovered a Glock 30 and 7 rounds 45 caliber ammunition following the interception of the men in the vicinity of an industrial compound along the eastern main road, Morvant. A search is also underway for another male suspect who escaped from the scene following a shooting with the first responders. According to police reports, at 2:30 p.m. on November the 1st, two men responded to an ad on Facebook Marketplace to purchase a motor vehicle, proceeded to Sohan Trace, that's First Caledonia, Morvant, where they were accosted by two men, one of whom was armed with a firearm. The men reportedly took 25,000 from the potential buyers and escaped in a waiting white Nissan Wing Road. The buyers immediately left the scene and upon reaching the traffic light at the intersection of the Lady Young Road and the Eastern Main Road (EMR), spotted a police cruiser and reported the incident. The officers immediately began a search of the area and on reaching a nearby industrial compound spotted the vehicle matching the description of the report. Upon approaching the vehicle, the front seat passenger alighted and ran east along the EMR while the back seat passenger alighted and ran west. Police gave chase after the suspect that ran east. Then he suddenly stopped, turned in direction of the officer and allegedly pointed a firearm at him. The officer, who perceived that their lives were in danger, and in keeping with the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service's use of force policy, fired in the direction of the suspect, who fell and dropped the firearm. He, however, escaped. Sergeant Paul of the Morvan CID is continuing investigations. So this is just a warning going out to you guys. Be careful how you guys make arrangements and deals on social media, because sometimes they can be so convincing, but it's not everything that glitters is gold, and sometimes it's very dishonest plans they have for people's money. So keep your eyes in your head and be very careful and be very cautious and be very aware whenever you're doing transaction. A 36-year-old diabetic and heart patient is facing allegations of importing firearms into the country by using the facilities of the shipping company to which he was employed. The shocking allegations were shared in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Thursday, where the accused Miguel Reed was arraigned on charges of being in possession of identity information. It is alleged that on September the 4th, Reed used the identity information of several persons to create email addresses, which were then used to make fake accounts at the shipping company. The shipping addresses which were generated were then shared with a man overseas who sent firearms to Reed. The items were allegedly shipped to Jamaica. Reed, who is represented by attorney at law Orville Morgan, did not enter a plea. Morgan attempted to have a bail application heard before Parish Judge Carlos Mason, submitting that his client was not a flight risk and had health issues including diabetes and a heart condition. He needs to have consistent medication care as he risks falling into a diabetic coma, Morgan shared with the court. This is just mere allegations, the lawyer added. The prosecutor, in her response to the Morgan's submissions, told the judge The Crown was not in a position to not oppose to bail and would first seek an adjournment to source other facilities that could provide treatment for Reed. The investigator is also saying that charges are to be laid against Mr. Reed for conspiracy to traffic firearms as well as getting to other persons involved, the prosecutor said. Mason is noting the submissions instructed that the matter be adjourned for a short mentioned date and said that Reed is to be assisted with his meals for medication. Reed was made the subject of a fingerprint order and was remanded in custody until December 18th. At that time, the court is to have an update on whether the facility he will be transferred to can adequately provide the care he needs. A bail application is to be heard as well. Although Christmas is over 50 days away, a parish court judge extended holiday wishes to a man who appeared before him on Thursday, hoping he would have been released on bail. Ryan Hall, facing charges of robbery with aggravation and receiving stolen property, was remanded in custody until January 9, 2024. He has been accused of robbing a pedestrian of $150 Jamaican dollars. It was shared in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court that on September 9th that the complainant was walking along Marcus Garvey Drive in the vicinity of the 3 Miles when Hall approached him with a knife and robbed him. Hall was apprehended by a licensed firearm holder who subsequently handed him over to the police. When cautioned, Hall is alleged to have said, "And I rob him, I beg him $1,000, my boss." Hall was before the Supreme Court in September, standing trial for shooting with intent and illegal possession of firearm. The Crown is to make checks if those matters were resolved. Having heard the allegations, presiding Judge Carla Mason decided that Hall would spend the festive season behind bar. "Well, Mr. Hall, I would like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year when it comes," the judge says. Hall was made the subject of a fingerprint order and was remanded in custody. A bail application is to be heard when he returned to court next year. I think the judge is protecting the public because since he had previously been in court for ammunition and gun charges, I guess the judge is thinking, well, if you shoot down a man with knife and take $150 from him, now Christmas season coming up, what you think him going to do? He may go back for him guns and ammunition and draw down a bigger robbery. So the place is one person or one criminal safer for Christmas. Sometimes you hear these things, you have to laugh, but it is so really serious, the levels that people go to. SSP Phillips reported that Thursday's shooting occurred around 7:30 p.m. when a motor vehicle with gunmen drove into the 3rd Street area of Rema and opened gunfire at the people who were along the roadway. 7 people were shot and injured and were rushed to the hospital where 2 people were pronounced. The others treated at hospital. The deceased have been identified as Desmore Mackenzie, otherwise called Nico, and Romaine Maraj, otherwise called Cooley, both of 3rd Street addresses. SSP Phillips in his report named 3 people who investigators believe can assist in the investigation. He also assured residents in Trenchtown that the police are using all necessary means to find the gang members. "We are currently trying to locate Pepe, Shamar, and Juju. These persons we believe can assist the MID in our investigations. In the meantime, I want to reassure the citizens of Rema that we will intensify our efforts and use all necessary means to locate these gangsters and all others who are involved in this conflict," SSP Phillips said. He is also appealing to residents who may have information to share it with the police, or they can call privately, dialing 119, and get their information to the police. I don't understand these gangsters. how they're thinking if they don't have any laws that they go by. Because you want to find someone who get rid of your leader, but instead they go into a community with regular people going up and down who has absolutely nothing to do with what is going on with warfare, and who just blatantly just spray the place with shot, don't care who get hit, whether the old lady, the baby on breast, the woman, the pregnant, it doesn't matter. You don't have to, even bad people supposed to have some laws where they can go by, because you can't just blatantly, these killings, are black and black killings, it is absolutely atrocious to know, say, we are take out our own people like this. I think a lot of these communities need vigorous camera setup. Yeah, I know they will shoot out the camera or whatever, but you have to have it set up in such a way where it is like bulletproof glass and all of them things. So it not easily can damage like that. And soon as someone try to trouble it or try to damage it, an alarm is sent off to the station that is manning these cameras, so it can be replaced, or or whatever can be done to rectify the situation. They need strong cameras, man, through and through along the streets, especially in them volatile area, so the people can have the license plate of these vehicles and the kind of vehicles that going in and out so readily doing these kind of crimes.